good time, but you got no destination, no route that you have learned. And the streets are all deserted, no ghost to haunt this town. The factory was closed back in the big slowdown. Amerie, 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 Amerie. Can you see? Can you see? Now the buildings are all battered, yeah, they look just ready to fall, but something keeps them standing tall. Amerie, 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 Amerie. Can you see? Can you see? Someday the lovers will dance in the street. It's only natural to think everything's so bleak, but we've got everything we need if only we could see. Amerie, Amerie, Hello, welcome to Guitar Track. I am Richard J. Dowling, and every week I upload an original song. It may be pop, it may be rock, it may be rock pop. Everything's possible. And I'm very happy because I just got what I think is a decent take of this week's song, which is Amerie. Now, as those of you who watch this channel regularly know, every week's song tends to be in some way a response or reaction to the previous week's song. Now the danger is that I would slip into, for me, I would slip into sort of do a fast song, then do a slow song, then do a fast song, then do a slow song, which is perfectly fine, but I prefer to have a ratio of, in my repertoire, as it were, a ratio of not necessarily fast, but sort of, you know, upbeat songs, or like 3 upbeat songs to 1 ballad. So I tend to find other ways of twisting things around. This, I think, certainly is a ballad, but you could. It's not. I mean, it's not. It doesn't feel like a slow ballad. I mean, it's sort of a, I don't know, soft rock maybe, sort of 80s soft rock style. So I can imagine it being done like by the Cars or somebody, maybe that sort of style, mixing maybe synths and guitars and stuff. So well, as I said, the response from last week's song was a sort of Britpop electric guitar, clearly electric guitar based song called "Give Us the Music, Man." And one of you kindly said, Duncan kindly suggested that I pitch it to Liam Gallagher, so I thought I will do. And I've been trying to get in touch with him. He hasn't responded to my Twitter message, but I sent messages to his managers, who have yet to respond. But so if anybody knows Liam Gallagher, I'm perfectly willing for you to share the song with him and get his opinion. I think it would do very well with it. I think he'd do a good job. The guy can sing. I think he would do a good job with that song. But this week's song, then I want to do something acoustic. And okay, I'm going to show you on the electric first of all. Not plugged in. I was just messing around with 3 chords, as I usually do, because I wanted something simple. G, D, A. But about 90% of the song ideas I've had recently have been using those 3 chords. And although you probably haven't heard them, I save song ideas. So I mean, at the moment on my phone, I've got 478 ideas for songs. Now, of those 478, probably, I don't know, I reckon a ratio of it's like probably 10 to 1 are crap, but of the ones, the one's good, and then those are the ones I pursue to make the songs that I upload. But I've been doing a lot of this sort of G, D, A. I think that's a possible one as well. So I thought, how can I make a difference? So instead of G, D, A, G, what could I do instead of the D? And I actually thought of the B minor, which is the relative minor of the D. So sort of harmonically, they're similar chords. That's a D major, B minor. So G major, B minor, A, which is not a progression I'd come up normally with. It sounds very 80s. And I think it sounds 80s because it's got that mixture of sort of it's on that sort of border between happiness and sadness. So because that minor chord in the middle, minor chord. And because I like to make my life easy, I thought, well, that would probably be enough for the verse and the chorus. And it worked very well, I think. The Amerie, that's all using the same thing. And what happens is that because the song's using a G major and an A major chord, when you have 2 major chords like that, a G and a full step part, that tends to make I don't know if it tends to make the ear feel, but well, certainly if you have a G major and an A major, that would normally be the 4th and the 5th of D major. So the key of the song is D major, but I don't play it. So I think that's another thing that adds to the melancholy of the situation of the song. And I tried to avoid using it. Eventually I did use it, and it came in the bridge section. And the bridge section, now I'm not used to playing the bridge section on this because it's with the capo. But it would be. Okay, I'm going to have to switch because I can't remember what the chords are. So that allows me to demonstrate that because I wanted to do an acoustic song, I wanted to use an acoustic guitar. That seems logical. But I tend to find that this particular guitar is quite a big guitar, as somebody mentioned. I mean, I don't know. It's an acoustic. I don't know. But it does sound boomy when I just play the open chords in this room. And it doesn't sound very nice in the room, and I don't think it comes across very nicely on the recording. But when I put a capo, it shortens the length of the strings and it reduces the boominess, and it sounds nicer to my ears. So I use the capo. Not often people use the capo because of the range of the voice, and they want to have a different. I don't really tend to think about that too often, but it was just the sound. So I put it somewhere that I could play the same chords fairly easily. So G, I play it as a full bar chord. But then the B minor I can play as an A minor shape, and the A major I can play as a G major shape. So then the bridge is just staying in the G, and I tried lots of different ideas for the bridge, and they all sounded a bit too predictable, or either too predictable or too out of left field, didn't fit the nature of the song. So this staying in this, it's an A chord. Yeah, it's an A chord. Someday the children. Well, this C shape is the D major chord. So this is the tonic key. This is the tonic chord of the key, which is D. Someday the children will play at our feet. So it's A to D to the G. So yeah, so the D gets in there. So that gives the bridge, I think, a very upbeat, happy feeling, because it's resolving the tension that you sort of hear. You hear constantly the fourth and the fifth of the scale, but you never hear that D chord until it gets into the bridge, where the lyrics, and I'll talk about this when I talk about lyrics, are also taken an upbeat. So the lyrics were very closely tied to the feeling of the song, to the emotions of the song, and it was for once it was very easy writing the song. The only reason I'm uploading on Wednesday is because of other matters. The song itself was fairly easy to do. I did quite a few vocal takes. Could never get the Amerie sounding very nice then. Eventually it turned out that there's like some position of the mouth that made it easier to sing. Who'd have thought? But so now I'm going to look into. There's a word, it's a French word, bouchon, something. It's a vocal, like mouth shape when you're singing. It's just not as easy as Liam Gallagher would make you think, that you just stand with your arms behind your back and shout. But it works for him because he's worked very hard at it, and he's very talented. And for me, as just every day I wake up and I just feel as though I've got no musical talent whatsoever. I always have to it's like I have to train my brain to recognise notes. I'm always with pitch problems and stuff. But nevertheless, I find writing songs relatively easy, and it gives me such a joy to come up with the melodies that, well, here I am. This is week 59 of the Song Week Challenge, and I feel just as excited as like the first day, really. Every time I come up with a new song, I always think, this is the best song ever that anyone's ever heard, and the world's going to go crazy when they hear it. And people, very nice people like yourself, have often said they enjoy the work, so that makes me very happy. Then to go to the lyrics, the emotional feeling of the music just sort of gave me the sense of somebody just going out without a home, without that D major chord. So it was sort of tied to the musical theory of it. Just going out into the world, not necessarily homeless, but just going out into a world that looked very bleak. And it's just, it's fairly open, so it's called Amerie. You can, read it as a love song in a way. I see it personally as somebody is sort of a young person going out looking at the world, being very depressed by it, which I think we can all sympathise with, maybe not the young part, but just not seeing any opportunities and just getting very, very down about everything. But people will fall in love, people will have a laugh with their friends. You don't need a limousine, you don't need the things that you're often told that you need by the media and whatnot. And so it's maybe a little bit, it's difficult. That bridge, I was a little bit on the fence about it being a bit too sort of on the nose. Maybe it's a bit too cheesy. I think I got away with it. But that's why I didn't, so you have the bulk of the song, which is using that G, B minor, A major progression. Then you have the bridge, or the middle eighth rather. I guess it's middle eight. Doesn't really matter. The songwriting terminology doesn't really matter. It's just an easy way of saying that bit. Was very happy, but I didn't want to repeat it because again, I'm not sure about the lyrics, and I thought, well, maybe I could get away with it singing it once. But the melody was so strong that I wanted to repeat the melody. So that's why at the end I'm doing the la la las. Not because I forgot it, because I got the lyrics written down, and I could easily have spent a few more centimos on the tinta and printed out the extra words. But it just seemed to work nicely to go into a la 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 section. I mean, you know, as an 80s kid, born in the 70s, but really started enjoying music in the 80s. There's a lot of good songs with la la la's in them. I mean, I'm a big Simple Minds fan, and Don't You Forget About Me, it's got a great la 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 section. And so, you know, maybe this is not as good as that, but you know, that's my little homage to that. And it just seems like I was worried about it being a bit too saccharine, a bit too sweet. And I think I get away with it once, and in the second time, I think you can sort of remember the feeling of the first time hearing the lyrics, and so you could sort of hopefully I get to have my cake and eat it. So you get the emotion, but you don't. It's not too much. Of course, this is just a demo, and you know, if I ever record this, or if you ever record this, maybe you'd like to do a version of this song. Actually, I think I'd like to hear. I mean, I love it when people, and you know, I've been very lucky. People have made versions of my song, and that really is, to me, the ultimate tribute. Just you know, it's nice when you hear a song being done by somebody else. It's like, wow, I wrote that. That's an amazing thing. So where am I going? Okay, music, lyrics. Get out while you can. As always, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, for listening, for commenting, and you will probably notice that my titles, I mean, originally it was Song a Week, Challenge 51, blah, blah, blah. Occasionally I started dropping in, like, you know, a sea shanty with no chorus or something, or like this is for Oasis and stuff. So clearly clickbait titles, and you'll see a lot more of those, because I am trying to grow my channel, and I want more people to listen to my music. I think I write good songs. I think people deserve to hear them. So I'm trying to grow the channel, but I don't want to grow the channel by subscribing to somebody in the hope that they will subscribe to me, and that we will do this, you know, until I get to 1,000 subscribers. It just won't work for me. I've got a nice, lovely community on YouTube of people that I love listening to their music. Anymore, I just won't have the time, so I can't subscribe to more channels. And if I do, I mean, it's making a real effort to do so, because I really genuinely really want to follow somebody. But with the best will in the world, I can't follow everybody's music, and I don't expect you to follow my music. If you enjoy what I do, stick around, and if you don't stick around. I mean, the beauty of this is, I think though, that there's a win-win here for you, because if you like my songs, then you can see how I do them, and if you don't like them, you can see how I do them, and then you can avoid doing that, so that you won't do the thing that you don't like. So it's a win-win. But okay, I've got to stop now. Really, I'm rambling past the point of no return. So thank you to everybody for watching, and I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.